Hi guys, Mark here. Welcome to another one of my videos. In this one, I'm going to show you how to make a rather unique paracord bracelet. It is made by tying the regular cobra knot bracelet, then covering it with a Turk's head knot. This project is not for everyone, it requires time and patience to do. Here you can see an example of this style of a bracelet. It is a combination of 550 paracord used for the cord and microcord used for the Turk's head knot. This bracelet has a buckle as the closing mechanism, meaning that it is easy to put on and off. To begin our project, we're first going to tie the cord. The cord is going to be a cobra knot bracelet. We're going to tie the cobra knot bracelet a bit longer than we usually do, since the overlay, so the Turk's head knot, adds a bit of additional thickness to your bracelet. To tie the cord, we need two items. A single piece of paracord with the inner strands removed. By using a gutted piece of paracord, we are able to tie a more solid cord. Secondly, we're going to need a 3/8" bracelet buckle. As far as the cord goes, I'm going to be using about 9.5 feet of cord for a 6.5" weave. After tying the cord so the cobra knot bracelet, I'm going to move on to the main part of our tutorial, tying the Turk's head knot overlay. We are going to need three specific items to do this. Microcord. For a 6.5" weave, I'm going to be using 20 feet of microcord. You're going to need a rubber band and a lacing needle to help you guide your cord through the Turk's head knot. To set everything up, I'm going to pick up my rubber band and attach it onto one end of my bracelet. Like this. I'm going to pick up my cord and fold it in half. I'm going to place half of my cord under the rubber band. So for now, I'm not going to be using this standing end, so half of my cord. The working end is going to have the lacing needle attached at the end. Like this. We can now begin tying. We're going to start tying by taking our working hand and wrapping around our cord from left to right. So here, usually I try to keep the same distance between my wraps. 4 square knots, so 4 cobra knots, both at the bottom and at the top. On the right, we come around and start crossing our previous wraps, creating X shapes. So each wrap around creates an X. On the left, after creating the final X, we come around and we pass in between our previous wraps, made from left to right. So here, 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 and so on. On the right, after passing over our final cord here, we take our working hand and we enter here, going the opposite to this cord. So under, like this, then over, under, over, under, like this, continuing over, under, over, under, always traveling the opposite to the cord on the left and on the right. So do this until you reach the left side. On the left, here, after passing over our final cord, we come back to the standing hand. So this completes a 2-bight long Turk's head knot. We are going to transform it into a 4-bight Turk's head knot using enlargement process number 1. So to do this, we place our working hand alongside the standing hand, traveling under 1. like this. Then we simply double up our standing hand from left to right, traveling alongside the standing hand, over, under, over, under, and so on until you reach the right side. So super simple, we just double up the standing hand. After doubling up our standing hand from left to right, we exit on the right with an over 1. Then we re-enter at the next bite here, traveling the opposite to this chord, which goes under 1, so we start over 1. Then it goes over, so we go under. Then it goes under 2, so we go over 2. Then under 1, over 2, under 1, and so on. So essentially, we're traveling the opposite to the chord on the left, and we're doubling up the chord on the right. When we reach the left side, we exit over 1, coming to the standing hand. The standing hand is doubled up, and we're going to travel in between the two strands and do the opposite to split them. So here, the two strands travel under. So I'm going to go over. Then they go over, so I'm going to go under. Then they travel under 2, so I'm going to travel over 2. Then they go over, so I'm going under. Then over 2, under 1. Over 2, under 1. Over 2, under 1. Over 2, under 1. So this is all we're doing until we reach the right side. On the right here, we exit over 1, re-enter at the next bite, and travel the opposite to this chord. So since this chord is going over, I'm going to go under. Then this chord goes under, so I go over. Then under, over, under, and so on. So a simple over-under sequence. When traveling here towards the left side, you can also spread apart your cords in the knot a bit to make further tying a bit easier. The main part though is to reach the left side going over under. If you take a closer look, our traveling basically splits two parallel strands by going in between them and doing the opposite. On the left, we exit over one, which brings us to the standing end. We place our working hand alongside the standing hand, going under one. For now, our work with the working hand is complete. Remove the standing hand from under the rubber band . Attach your lacing needle and we're going to continue with our standing hand, basically following the working hand through the knot until we reach the working hand again, effectively doubling up our knot. So simply follow it, entering the knot here, over, then under, over, under, like this, basically traveling in the opposite direction and doubling up the knot. When doubling up the knot, also make sure to spread apart your cords where they get bunched up just to get a nice layout for the knot. So when doubling up the knot, we are not only doubling up, but also making a nicer layout by spreading apart our cords where they get bunched up. Since we're going to go through the entire knot, the result should be quite nice. So the finishing layout is something like this. Once you reach your working end, using your standing end here on the left, you have effectively doubled up your knot. We are now going to secure our two ends by bringing them deeper into the bracelet. So I take my standing end and I begin to triple up the knot. So again, I follow the working end. So over, under, over, under, over, under. So let's say something like this. Make sure that your standing end is at the bottom of the bracelet. Then take your working end and remove it up to the standing end. So as you can see, we are removing one of the passes in the knot, leaving two passes behind. Like this. So, here on the bottom, we are later on going to cut the two ends. The next step is to tighten up your Turk's head knot. This step is optional, but I do recommend it. You can straighten out your Turk's head knot a bit more. So you start at one of the two ends. It doesn't matter with which one. You begin tightening up by pulling on one of the ends, bringing slack through the knot and out of the other end. So quite a lot of slack is going to gather up once you exit the knot. Once tightened up, we trim the ends. And with that, we are done. So guys, that's our bracelet. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and that you have a nice looking bracelet on your side as well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Consider supporting the site on Patreon and I'll see you next time.